And we should now be live. Good evening, everybody. Bear with me one moment. I have literally just forgotten to do something. 1 moment. I will quick. There we go. Got some background music now for us. Let me just turn that down a little. There we go, that should be alright. Sorry about that. I knew I was forgetting something. How are we all doing this Thursday evening? Say hello in chat. Nerd Guy Productions, who is moderator here, is joining us in chat as well. And if you haven't already seen our latest video, he is my buddy who was doing that with me, so do go watch that video if you haven't already done, and do say hello to him as well, and do be on your best behavior as well for moderators. So what is the point of today? Today I thought I wanted to have a little break from gaming, and I wanted us to think about where Jurassic World Evolution 2 is in terms of development. Think about what is good, what needs improvement, and what we would want from the next DLC. And I've already got quite a lot of ideas for what needs improvement from Reddit, so I made a Reddit post about this stream, and there was a lot of ideas coming in. So clearly a lot of things need to be improved, but I think let's try and start positive, shall we? What do people think is currently good? Let's try and be positive from the very beginning. What do we think the Jurassic World Evolution 2 currently, given the current state of the game, what is currently good? Give me some ideas. And yes, I am using Canva. I find it very useful for all sorts of things. So what do we think? The pathing system is far better than Planet Coasters, says Nergay. So the pathing system works pretty well. Better than PZ and PC. Definitely agree with you there, Nerd Guy. I hate the path system on Planet Coaster. It just, the way it snaps is bizarre. The land animal animations. It's improved since the first game. Definitely agree with you there. Many of the animations are pretty decent. Dinosaur variety, not general animal variety, just the dinosaur variety. So dinosaur variety, specifically just dinosaurs. Yeah, I would agree with you there. Something. Rory says land behaviors as well. We have good killing animations. Do we? A-Dog, what do people think? Do we have good kill animations in general for the animals? I don't pay attention to them, so I don't know. Yeah, I feel that's the problem I have with like kill animations. I don't set dinosaurs off to fight one another, so I don't really see the animations that often. The animations are good, just overstretched species. feel like there's quite a lot of copy-pasted kill animations. So I think what we can say is maybe some kill animations are good, and we'll asterisks that because obviously some of them are just copy-pasted. Weather effects and map biomes, I will definitely agree there. The map biomes are generally nice, although I am going to put Alpine Taiga in here because I feel like the Alpine and Taigas are too similar to one another. But generally the map biomes, I would agree. The Ichthyosaur kill animation for the Mosasaur. Well, I think we have to say as a general improvement that the aquatic and pterosaur additions were a pretty big selling point of this game. A wide range of decorations, although there are some omissions. True, we do have a wider range of decorative parts than the first game. Definitely agree with you there. Only biome I think we need is a swamp or wetland. I would agree with you there, something. I think we definitely need like a swamp biome. The cuddle animation from the Rexes is 100. I don't think I've actually seen that. I don't think I have actually seen the cuddle animation from the Rexes. The biosyn map, I think we can include the biosyn map with map biomes, I think. Social animations we've already discussed. Better foliage options, definitely agree with that. So better foliage options. And I'm going to put more ground texture options as well, because we do get 6 as opposed to what, 3 in the first game. Cute little creatures. So a better range of animal size. Yep. Good rocks. Shall we include that with their rocks? And we can move the rocks in 3D. That's true. That's kind of like its own thing. More decorative rocks, which all can be moved in 3 dimensions. That was another one of those big things that they brought to the game from the very beginning, wasn't it? So the amenity system, definitely agree with the amenity system. Amenity design options, definitely agree there. Decent selection of land attractions. Yeah, let's just say like a general expansion to building sets in general, because in the first game we didn't have very many options. We have a lot of options now. General changes, some quality of life changes, hatchery, etc. They're all positives. Just trying to think if there's any that I personally think that I haven't thought of yet. More fun campaigns or challenges. I will agree that challenge mode is better, but that's as far as I go. Chaos Theory and campaigns, I am disappointed by. But let's try to keep positive. Unlimited feeders was only added in recently, Frogstrick. And it was a JWE1 edition, which they took ages to give us, so I don't think they get points for that. I think I have to say that it's good that we have the skin previewer. Yeah, being able to look at the animals outside, being able to actually look at the skins and that, it's not 100%. I'm going to asterisk that, because really it would be nice to have this in the game when you're building the park. But the fact that we do have some way to preview the dinosaurs and the skins now is better than nothing. Feathered dinos? Shall we put that under, so better range of animal sizes, range of animal types, so feathered, and let's just go with non-dinosaur as well, so like Dimetrodon, Lystrosaurus. The first person mode, definitely. First person mode. Feathered is paid DLC, but I think it's okay to include paid DLC things here, especially the feathered pack, because I think a lot of people have that. Non-dinosaur inclusion JWE1 terrors don't count. True. It wasn't really fully implemented in JWE1. Multi-place buildings, I think we can put that under quality of life changes, so hatchery, multi-place buildings, 360 viewing, the ranger posts, etc, etc. First person mode, they just took over from Planet Coaster, so not really sure that warrants a point. That is true. I think we'll asterisk that one, since it is a feature that really should have been there from the beginning anyway. Fletcher, are you aware of Benji, Thomas? I don't think so, Rory, no. Glitzbog, we'll get to what could be improved in a bit. We're sticking with the good stuff at the moment. Nice glitches. Pterosaurs can fly outside the cage and live there. Again, don't really see that as a positive. We do have more maps in this game. Like, we do have more individual maps with a bigger range of sizes, shapes, etc. Yeah, I think we have to praise them for that. Yeah, I think I don't have any other ideas either. I'm just trying to have a look through. Yeah, no, I think those are pretty much all of the improvements I would say. So, let's look at what needs to be improved. And I thought we would go through what people suggested on Reddit first. And we'll decide which ones from what folks suggested in Reddit are important to keep, and which ones we would get rid of. So, performance issues on console, including next gen. Square maps are nearly unplayable even on PS5. Does anyone in chat have any sort of experience of this? PS4 here. Well, how is the quality of the performance on PS4, eCats? What do you think? I think this and most building sims should solely be PC exclusives. I do agree with that, nerd guy. I definitely think so. PS5 runs mostly fine. Only in very big parks does it have a problem. So I think we can maybe cross this one out, that perhaps it's very dependent on how you're building and maybe not a big issue. It gets a little laggy. Yeah, I mean, I think most games will occasionally lag on consoles. You'll never get rid of it entirely. Graphics are a bit downgraded, but again, you'd expect that. What about this one? I thought was quite interesting. So missing bias in buildings. So no arrival point, no aviary, no lagoon, no tour system, no zip line, no bias in staff or staff guest option in sandbox, and Malta doesn't have a zip line option either. What do people think there? Would we want them to give us some missing buildings for the other building sets? It's not the biggest issue, but I guess it counts. Then we will stick a tick next to that. That's definitely something I would want to see improved as well. I personally really want the building sets to be completed, basically. So we'll put a big tick next to that. This one is a bit chunkier, so I don't use either of those stars aside from decorations or Malta resorts. In my opinion, it's a waste of time. True. I mean, I suppose just having the options there to use is better than not having them there. I mean, it would be nice to have them. So I think this game does wrong in terms of animal variety. There are over 100 creatures, yet lots of them just feel like copy-pastes of each other. We should be getting more unique animals that we can possibly set apart, like Microceratus, Psittacosaurus, Protoceratops, Mosasaurus, Platyosaurus, Scelidosaurus. Yes, some of you want Argentinosaurus, Myrogaea, and that stuff, but Frontier should consider giving us more high-quality variety. With the feathered species pack, they showed it, so why not? And nevertheless, I would prioritize new decorations or attraction over new animals. So what do people think? Do we have too many animals that are too common? Yes, yeah, you don't need 500 Asian stegosaurs or 50 different hadrosaurs. Yeah, so I think we generally all agree with that point. We need more unique animals rather than more animals in general, so I definitely agree there. The amenities, so this one I found a bit strange. First thing that comes to mind, the amenity buildings are ugly, specifically the stores and attractions. More often than not, I find that as I customize them, I'm not trying to make these buildings good looking, I'm trying to make them not ugly. I have found ways to make them appealing, but I'm really missing the old buildings from Jurassic World Evolution 1. I would love to have all those old buildings, and could even be variants for Jurassic Park and the DFW. What do people think? Do we think the amenity... Do we miss the old amenity buildings from the first game? What the heck is he smoking? They only fit the Jurassic World style. I agree with that something. They do only fit the Jurassic World style most of the time. And I would even say that really the only version of the amenities I use are the coloured panel ones. The concreted ones, they just look really ugly. Bring back the giant umbrella tree. I do agree with you there, Glitz. Midway with this point. Okay, so we'll put like we need like a dash. Can I have a different colour? There we go. Good lord. That's a big dash. Okay, so we'll put like a we're equal on this one. We think maybe it'd be worth having, maybe not. Mainly the fact that the game needs to be more fully enjoyable and much less annoying. Terrain constraints, hitboxes, limited landscaping, and decoration tools are my main peeves. I'd say animal behavior needs some tuning, ranger AI definitely too, lagoons and aviaries need more love, big lack of attractions, and building skins could have complete sets with some new buildings. What do we think about this one? I think they do make some good points, especially about Ranger AI. So some things I agree with in there, some things I don't. So I'm going to put another box next to that, because there are some things in there I think are not a problem. Avian and aquatic creatures need more love. I'm putting an X next to that straight away, because that's definitely true. They definitely need more attention. The Jeeps, I don't know if it's just me, but Ranger AI feels dumber than it was in JWE1. Half the time they can't navigate across the parks. I have had some problems with this, and it seems like rest of chat has as well, so that's another tick. Rangers being really stupid, so that needs to be improved. This comment I loved just because they've come up with the term lagoon discrimination, which I'm gonna absolutely steal. Lagoon discrimination, they're very underdeveloped compared to aviaries and haven't received any new species. Poor customization and lack of interactivity. Totally agree. I'm gonna give that point a tick. So that point gets a tick. Biosyn DLC feels underdeveloped because the new gameplay features are not available in Sandbox. They added Burned Forest but didn't make it a usable deck or brush or anything. The Quetz doesn't have a big enough aviary for it. What do we think? Something says yep. A-Dog says not really. I mean, I haven't played through the Biosyn DLC because I just wasn't enthused by the campaign. Quetz should be sized down. So we get another tick here with the Biosyn DLC. Okay. Tiny species in general, many of them are too needy. They're always first to bug out and starve themselves, and we could really use better ways to display them. What do we think? Check. I agree with that as well. Like many of the smaller species, in fact, I distinctly remember one of Evo's streams. The Compsognathus just kept continually escaping over and over again, just phasing through the fence line like it wasn't there. And she had to basically put every sort of 10 minutes it was putting them back in. So I agree with that one. Building customization. Amenities could use more variety of layouts and styles, and many other buildings could use some sort of customization as well, like different decorations, or the ability to place mirrored versions of asymmetrical buildings. I agree with that one just on the asymmetrical building bit, because I hate the fact that some of the buildings are not symmetrical. It really bugs me. So I think all of this guy's points are really quite good. Let's move over. So freedom within Sandbox. Sandbox should be a game mode where anything is possible, but Frontier still limits the player base with what can be done. Some examples: remove hitboxes, allowing access to all terrain paints, allowing access to all foliage options. These are just a few. Frontier needs to look at what the modders are doing and incorporate some popular mods. No, just no, says Barger. Hitboxes disagree with, rest yes. This is for consoles. Yeah, I think it's definitely a console thing. I think he has a good point on maybe having an option in Sandbox to remove hitboxes. But in regards to using all terrain paints and all foliage, like, I honestly don't think consoles could withstand having all the terrain points accessible and all the foliage options accessible. And even I think PC would probably struggle. I think the engine would struggle quite a bit to have that amount going. So I'm tempted to go, it's a good thought, but if we're thinking about the average gamer, I don't think it's doable. Exactly, we can't all afford a master PC. Bugs and performance issues are still the biggest problem. My animals are still phasing through walls, getting stuck in aviaries, forgetting to eat, drink, and move altogether. Crashes are still fairly regular too. I've never even had that problem, even with games I'm told are real buggy. I do agree with this. There is still a lot of problem with animals phasing through walls, getting stuck, escaping aviaries. I've never had any crashes, but there do seem to be quite a few bugs. So I definitely think the bugs need to be fixed. There needs to be some bug fixing. I just had a whole tank of marine reptiles starve despite available space and having a fish. And I've all but given up and fast forward because of the chance of phasing and the tour tracks jumping. See, yeah, and again, this connects to the bug problem there. I literally came here to see if anyone else was having problems with the dinosaurs teleporting through walls. I'm glad I'm not the only one. It's so frustrating that it keeps happening. This seems to be like the biggest problem. So I'm just going to... Oh, how does this work? Pen. Ah. Oh, that's huge. How do I change that? Is that a bit better? Yeah, I'm just gonna circle all these as one lump. Because obviously that's... that obviously needs to be fixed. Oh, blimey, this is a... This is another bug I've noticed. When I paused the game at the exact moment Akano was in the lying down animation, he somehow kept moving in one direction while time was paused, phasing through any fence and obstacle. I've definitely... That's definitely a bug. Marine reptiles, small AI, have many starve in the presence of food. Rangers can't find destination. Lack of transportation. There are so many bugs being reported here. Oops. How do I... Ah. Hitboxes are way too big. I think we've already talked about that, so I'm going to move you over there. Ranger Jeeps flipping into orbit whenever you drive over anything bigger than a sugar cube. We've spoken about the Rangers already. We've spoken about the amenities already, so I think we can move that over there. So this one, ignoring the graphics thing, some species models suffer from bad skin wrap, even magnified by overly dark plastic bag skins, and we could use better markings and quality on many species. Herrerasaurus skin is terrible. What do people think? I do agree the Herrerasaurus skin options are awful. While you guys give your opinion on that, I'm just gonna tidy a bit up here. Can I stick this somewhere? It'll fit there. Nice. Yes, we need the Jurassic Park the game Herrera. Well, I think ECATS, I think that's what they tried to do. I think they were trying to give us that sort of pattern, and it just didn't work. I mean, I also think the Allosaurus has some particularly bad skin options, as does the Carcharodontosaurus, the Styracosaurus. There are some very ugly ones in there, so I agree with that one. One expedition at a time is infuriating. Total tick there. I don't understand why in the first game we could do 3 at once, and in this game it's 1 at a time. It is so ridiculous, and it's just a way of making the game grindy. It just takes forever to do anything. Bugs again. Although I thought this one was quite fun. Guests enter a circular death march like ants do, walking in circles in a single spot and going nowhere. Sometimes after an emergency, the guests simply don't leave the bunkers. I suspect they're entering the back rooms and the pathing of AI-controlled vehicles. I have seen a lot of guest-related issues. Apparently, so Nerd Guy, apparently this issue with the guest AI is something that Planet Coaster has as well. So it's clearly just a problem with the engine that Frontier used to build these games. So I do agree that could do with being fixed. Rangers being unable to reach a destination, we've spoken about. More animations, fighting and hunting. The ability for herbivores to escape a chase from a carnivore, so it's 50-50, so that these instances are more exciting. Again, I don't do a lot of dinosaur fighting hunting, so I don't really know if that's something that people would generally want improved. I mean, I do know that there's a general problem that the sauropods don't fight. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure herbivores can escape hunts, but I think perhaps it might not be as common as people would like it to be. Barger, I'm sure some people would enjoy your mods. A heavy lack of highly demanded dinosaurs, guest attractions and decorations, not to mention the amount of bugs and glitches. So we've spoken about the bugs and glitches. Do we think we need more guest attractions? Sorry, hiccups. I think decorations, I think the game is... I wouldn't use the word good, but I think it's acceptable on decorations. I think maybe some more guest attractions would be nice. Terrain editing, I could use some work. I wish the foliage brushes didn't automatically create grass, and I wish we could use any brush on any map, and I miss shale. Seriously, shale was so great for making good looking creeks and streams, but we only ever got it in 2 maps in the old game. What the heck? I agree there. I really miss the shale. I want my shale back. So a big tick there. I miss shale. Animal AI could still use another pass. Carnivores hunting better. We've already spoken about this, so we'll just put a tick next to that one. Still pretty buggy. We've already spoken about that. Could use some more attractions. Already spoken about that. And I seriously wish there were more Triassic, early Jurassic dinosaurs, especially herbivores. This and Microceratus are driving me insane. Like, how did we get Wuhersaurus before Platyosaurus? I agree that we need more animal variation from the Triassic and Jurassic. I don't even think many people would argue that, to be honest. Better AI, more attractions, we've spoken about. No walking pterosaurs, including the Quetzal. I think we can lump that under better animations. So I'm just going to put that up here as well. A proper career mode with progression would be nice. Hello, best movie clips. A proper career mode with progression would be nice, like making parks across the world. Would people want a sort of career mode similar to the first game? I mean, I would, personally. Varga says yes. Yes, yes, basically Planet Zoo. Pretty much. I think that Planet Coaster had a similar system. Nerd guy, if you're still listening, did Planet Coaster have a career mode or sort of a established campaign? Biggest issue in my opinion is how some of us on console or at least PS5 can't even load into our bigger parks anymore. See, I've seen this from quite a few people struggling to load into big parks, but I'm just going to put that down to a console limitation. I don't think it's a general problem. Like console specific problems, I don't think we can really say are an issue with the game because it's a console limitation. More or less. My least favourite part about the game, apart from the performance issues, is the guest attractions. First of all, most of the attractions they give you don't even make sense to be in a park to begin with. They give you choices like gyms, golf and bowling when they should offer real park attractions such as dinosaur feeding, dino rides, Ferris wheels, etc. Also, the attractions just being buildings is very boring as well. Instead of a building that says Fossil Zone, they could change it to be an actual mock dig site. Third, attractions should not only offer appeal but generate money as well. They take up a large amount of space and only offer 100 appeal. I agree completely with this. Like, those attraction buildings are such a disappointment. It's just a big concrete rectangle, and it doesn't matter really what you pick. They never look any different, which is just disappointing. And then the last one I saw just before we started, actually. For me, the underdeveloped systems, for example, if a T-Rex is comfortable, you can hold it with a wire fence. It doesn't make sense. I don't have any ideas on how to fix it, but it feels like a missed opportunity on the game about dinosaurs escaping. I think what he's referring to here is that dinosaurs will stay in any type of fence permitted they're comfortable, and they won't even attempt to escape or attempt to damage the fences if they're comfy. I'm not so sure. I mean, I've always believed that if an animal is comfortable, it's not going to try to escape. So I don't necessarily agree with this one. So we'll put a big X through here. And then, so I had to go on to another page because this guy left an absolute book. Like, he left a book here. So we'll try and paraphrase this. So, guest management is virtually non-existent. Can't set admission prices for the park. Can't set admission prices for amenities, attractions, hotels, restrooms, or anything else. He did. I agree with some of the bits in here. Hello, Ritam. Or Ritam. I do agree that in general, guest management is not established enough. I would like more options for earning profit, etc. Okay, Rob. Have a good day. Thank you for joining in. Guest protests in Jurassic World Evolution 2 as a form of sabotage also do next to nothing. Like, you'll never see them unless you purposely ignore it. The notifications about scientists, everything in the game is so abrupt and front-loaded or feeble in its penalties you can ignore them or just have a bit of money in hand, and in a few minutes it's like there was never a breakout or tornado. Yeah, I agree. Like, there needs to be stronger penalties when things do go wrong in the park. There are sort of protests. Something that it pops up as like a narrative event, but it doesn't really do anything apart from cost you money or reputation. So it doesn't actually like appear in your park like they do in Planet Zoo. Research tree is pretty bare bones as well, as there's not a lot of compelling reasons. Yeah, I mean, I think I would agree with that one. Yeah, there's a lot in here that I just generally agree with, like the lagoons needing more work. Like, that's totally correct. Yeah, I think this guy, who wrote a long script, and I'm going to give him a proper response on Reddit after the stream. But yeah, I agree with pretty much everything he's saying here. So, the bit that I think is going to take the longest length of time for us. What do you want from the next DLC, or what improvements would you guys like to see yourselves? So let's try and do this in a organized way. So let's start with packs. So let's begin with packs. Like, what would people want to see from a dinosaur pack or creature pack as a DLC? I'm just going to organize my typing here a bit. So let's see. A synapsid pack. With 4 animals inside. Including gorgonopsids. Yeah, I think a Permian pack or a synapsid pack would go down really well. I think a lot of people would really like that. An ancient reptiles pack. What do you mean, a novel pack, ECATs? So, JP novel pack for missing animals. And skins. Include Postosuchus, Megalania, etc. I think that would also be a really cool pack, Barga, to have those sorts of ancient giant reptiles. Hello, Dinosaur Mayhem Official. A Triassic pack, or early Triassic pack. Along with the dinosaurs, have Beelzebufo, Sarcosuchus, and some else. I would love to see Beelzebufo in game, even if it's, I think, a bit small. A ruin pack, ruined buildings, new attraction that looks like the Malta Tower that is like the viewing dome and can be placed on a path, so ruined cities could be an exhibit. So So, Caleb, you're actually thinking about perhaps having packs that are structure based. So, a ruin pack slash ruins decoration pack for decorations. I like that idea. Like, I don't see why we just have animals in our packs. Like, I think having decorations in there is a really good way of making some money too. Wanted Ones pack: Dunkleosteus, a Terrorbird, Plateosaurus, and Hapsigopteryx. I think we can maybe just put that as a general sort of improvement. So let's just grab that. And we'll go over here. And we'll just put, so, general improvements. Additional creatures. And we can make a long list here, so... Dunkleosteus. Plateosaurus and Dunkleosteus, I think, are definitely two that people would definitely want to have. Hapsigopteryx, maybe because of its presence in prehistoric King Planet. So possibly people would like to see that in. An omnivore pack. That's an interesting idea, Potato Man. What sort of animals would you have in there? Now, if you're giving me pack ideas, you need to give me some animal ideas to go along with it. Enrichment and feeder DLC with things like feeding pools, nut feeders, salt cubes, and crab and lobster feeder. Okay, so this is a big DLC idea. Let's just make sure that's got plenty of room. So an enrichment and feeder based DLC, adding new feeders and enrichment options. And I assume something. I assume this would also add like an enrichment requirement to the animals for their enclosures. So you've got to make sure they've got, you know, some enrichment items in there to be as happy as possible. Enrichment to animals. So what have we got here? So we've got feeding pools, nut feeders, salt cubes, crab feeders, lobster feeders, etc. I'm just going to put PZ here, because obviously a lot of this could probably be transferred from Planet Zoo. Like a lot of the options there could be transferred quite easily. Omnivore pack could include Ornithomimus and Gigantoraptor. Yep, Ornithomimus and Gigantoraptor. So I pay extra just for some feeders. I assume, as Darkaday, that this feeder would also, that this DLC would probably be a bit like the Claire's Sanctuary DLC from the first game. So all the new enrichment and feeder stuff would be introduced to players through a new campaign or an extra campaign levels. So you're not just paying for the feeders, but... Oh, no, it's just a pack without a campaign. Ah, so it's a pack rather than a DLC. Okay. just as good. Actually, let's just grab all that and copy and paste it over. That way I'm not going to have multiple text boxes here. There we go. Whoops. Right, where did we get to? I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. A kangaroo feeder, says here, ECAT. That's a bit cruel. I know this isn't related, but as a recent follower, but I want to bring up your Jurassic Architects series is brilliant. My parks are way better and made me better with choosing the right skins. Thank you, Ritam. There will be the next Jurassic Architect video is going to be on designing enclosure focal points, so using decorations inside of enclosures to create, you know, centerpieces and such. So do keep an eye out for that. I want them to add herbivore trough, so again we could add that to the enrichment feeder options, although I think we could also put that under general improvements. So bring back herbivore feeders. Bahamas new maps including natural lagoons done better than the Malta maps. New building. Oh, a Bahamas expansion. Right, new buildings, decorations, a bit more open roof, brings new crab feeders. So, our first proper... DLC is probably the wrong word for this one. Probably expansion is better. Expansions. So, Bahamas expansion. So what do we have here? So, new maps which include natural lagoons. Better decorated, of course. New buildings. New building style. With many open roofed. Brings new feeders for aquatics and land animals. What new creatures would you specifically add? Because obviously any big expansion, who suggested this one? Any new expansion, Caleb, is going to have to bring animals. So what sort of animals would you include in a Bahamas expansion? Fletcher expansion idea, Australian Wonders. Australian Wonders expansion. Explain more to the Australian Wonders expansion there. Include a new campaign, maps, more Australian themed decorations similar to the ones from Planet Zoo. So, Australian maps, obviously. Decorations based on those in PZ. Animals included in it would be Australotitan, Coolosuchus, a remaster for Matabarosaurus, and a paleo-accurate variant from Megalania. So, animals include Australotitan, Coolosuchus, a new Mutter, and paleo-accurate Megalania. Good options there. Aquatic expansion. So I definitely think the aquatic expansion is one a lot of people would want. I mean, I spent a lot of time going over my aquatic expansion in the CEO video that I made, I think it was last month or the month before. So, includes underwater tunnels, More creatures such as ammonites, megalodon, and lagging a transitional piece for semi-aquatic options, etc. Okay. Topunctulus and Psittacosaurus also in the omnivore pack. We'll add Psittaco in here as well, and just put etc. Maybe some Therizinosaurs or Pachycephalosaurs for the omnivore pack. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of animals that we think were probably omnivorous. I mean, I would say that there are a lot of animals that are present in the game currently that really should be omnivorous, like the Struthiomimus, for example. A bicycle tour. I could see that being in like the Bahamas expansion, like a bicycle tour or bicycle transport. Have your guests cycling around. Oh, blimey. I'm trying to keep up with chat, but you've got so many ideas. We really need an ocean map, a customizable island in the middle of an open ocean. So we can put that in here. So we can say customizable island map. Could be done. I think it would be difficult with the way the game is set up, but I think you could do it. You just have to do a lot of altering of some various things. A Guam DLC with more Asian Japanese themes like the Jurassic Park plan. So I think in general we could just have a Japanese expansion. Like, it seems to be like one of the most obvious ones for them to do. And just, you know, new maps, new animals like Fuki Raptor. And decorations, obviously, and foliage. Definitely want to get some cherry blossoms in here. Hello, Finley. Early Jurassic pack. Early Jurassic pack. So this includes Scalidosaurus. I'd love to see Scalidosaurus. It's adorable. Segisaurus. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be in the original park. And Tentos. Obviously an Isle popular species. Wetland pack with... Oh, blimey. With Ostroraptor. Lurdosaurus and Lion. I haven't heard of two of those something. Walking Quets. So I think we can put that under general improvements. Walking pterosaurs. New dinosaurs, giant sloths and other creatures from tropical areas. New attractions are the balloon tour and fallen submarine lagoon attraction. Oh, Caleb, is that for the Bahamas? So, sunken sub decoration, balloon tour. Love the idea of a balloon tour coming back to the game. I think an aquatic expansion shouldn't happen, instead an aquatic update with an aquatic pack so that the improvements are free. We'll put a question mark next to that. I kind of agree with you there, something. The Way Before pack, Dictodon, Dodo, Gorgonopsids, and Terrorbirds. Seems like people want quite a lot of post-dinosaur animals. Way Before pack, Terrorbirds, Dictodon, etc. I'm trying to speed up so I can keep up with chat, so excuse me if I don't write down absolutely everyone's animal suggestions. Okay, Rita, thank you for keeping an eye out. I really want a colourful and feathered ornithomimid. I think, you know, if they added ornithomimus, it would be nice to be colourful and feathered. Also, for the Australian expansion, add Pliosaurus and a boat tour. So, Pliosaurus and a boat tour for lagoons. Eurasian pack with Plateosaurus, Concavinator, Gigantoraptor. So, oops. Eurasia pack. So, Concavinator. I mean, I'm surprised Concavinator isn't in the game yet, to be honest. Yeah, don't worry, Caleb. I am reading through chat. I just have to, you know, keep up because you're all coming up with good ideas. Could add a new campaign, Inuit style. Inuit-inspired building style, and the creatures being Nanucosaurus, a feathered Pachyrhinosaurus, and Troodon, and Orla. Oh, what a sort of like a northern expansion. Buildings based on Inuit culture, animals, feathered skins for some dinosaurs, etc. Perhaps a Northern Africa pack with Egyptian-style decorations and creatures such as Deltodromius and Stromatosaucus. I mean, I think a Northern Africa expansion, just to add a bunch of African stuff to the game, would be really cool. I'm just going to call this the African expansion. Because I really want to have... I want to build on maps like that have the pyramids and the Sphinx in the background and stuff. So, new maps based on Egypt. Egyptian style decorations, etc. And building sets. Animals to include Deltodromius, and Stromatosaucus. E-cats. Which one did I? Oh, Jurassic Park Guam. With so I'm gonna put that under Japanese expansion, Guam expansion, like because you're adding Japanese stuff in there. I think you could include that all together. E-cat. So I did see you. Don't worry. Species of giant millipedes, terrorbirds, Archaeopteryx concavinator. Oh, that's for the Bahamas one. Caleb, is it? Fukiraptor, Cosmoceratops, Shant, Rajasaurus. There's some good ones in there actually. Shant, I'm surprised isn't in the game already. Maybe add Rugops to the North Africa pack. Yeah, considering Rugops DNA was used in the Indominus Rex, should probably be in there in the game somewhere. Maybe add a new Spino variant for the Egypt pack. Oh, have like a paleo-accurate Spino. Of course, even saying let's have a paleo-accurate Spinosaurus, give it 6 months and it will be completely inaccurate again, because Spinosaurus changes shape more than, I don't know, a scroll. An island expansion. Simosuchus, Rajasaurus, Tethishadros, Impero Beta, Kewahekea, and Kakaliki. Oh, I see, Frodstrick. So base it off the prehistoric kingdom animals. Oh, Korea Ceratops, not Cosmoceratops. I didn't know Korea had a Ceratops species. Geosternbergia does have the better skin, something, in my opinion, than the Tropiognathus. Cenozoic expansion. Oh, blimey. Have to shrink it down. So, a Cenozoic expansion. See, as much as people want Cenozoic animals, and obviously I'll put this down as an idea, Barger. I honestly don't think Universal would let them. I would like the Jurassic Park San Diego Arena to be placeable and available in different variants based on different biomes. I think that's a fair general improvement, because it's like the one building that a lot of people would like to use in more places. Placeable San Diego Amphitheater, which alters design based on biome. I agree with that as a general improvement. Maybe include Draco Venator as a paleo-accurate Dilo for the Africa expansion. Draco Venator. Koreaceratops is unique. Oh, well, any unique animal is good, ECATs. Island expansion, Caribbean map, Hawaiian map, Isla Pena map, Rhamphorhynchus, Hapsogopteryx, coastal biome, and a Polynesian building style. Love that idea. And that's very well thought out as well, Frogstrich. That's what I like to see, an island expansion. Because I might choose to do a video on some of the best of these ideas, and maybe expand upon them with some research. So, Caribbean map, Hawaii map, Isla Pena. Introduce animals include Rhamphorhynchus, Hapsogopteryx. Introduce a coastal biome and a Polynesian building style. Nice. Atlasaurus for the Africa expansion. Oh, the new decorative bunker should change foliage based on biome as well. Oh, does it not? Does it always have the palm trees? That's Some structures need biome-specific trees, bunker, etc. That's a really cheap thing for them to do. To have it make sense, add a separate building that instead of using eggs for the Cenozoic animals, add a building that is able to use some of more modern technology for cloning mammals. Oh, I see what you mean. So obviously, Cenozoic expansion would have to introduce like new buildings for hatching animals. Part 5 of Bahamas. New buildings would be very large market, small hut, like a tiny hotel, a small aviary for Archaeopteryx and other small creatures, tiny aquarium, new building, arrival docks. Crikey, this is very well thought out, Caleb. So, large market, small huts, basically tiny hotels, small aviary for small animals, tiny aquariums. The arrival building is a dock. Caleb, animal-wise, what did you say for the Bahamas? I think I missed it. The Cenozoic, including mammals, Megalania, Varanus, Titanus, Purosaurus, Basilosaurus. Yeah, Basilosaurus would kind of suit the game's general style, I think. Part 4 for Bahamas. The decos would include new giant fountains, small ponds that animals drink from, huge tree with birds inside. Huge tree decks, ponds that animals can drink from. These are all some really good ideas. Vega fountains. I think the African expansion has enough animals now, Frodstrick. The mammals that could be added are Thyocosmilus, Dinotherium, and Dinotherium would definitely be quite interesting. Megalonox. I mean, I suppose we could put inside there as well mammoths. Elasmotherium, the woolly rhino. The giant deer with the giant antlers, whose name is it Megatherium? Megatherium. Maybe an improvement, pterosaurs could perch on sauropods, though I don't know how hard it would be to rig that since it's a moving thing. I think the pterosaurs have trouble enough just landing on the stuff inside the aviary, let alone a moving sauropod. Jurassic Crisis. It's a good idea though. Like, it would be nice if more dinosaurs of different types interacted with one another. So like there were social animations for, say, ceratopsians and sauropods, or social animations for ankylosaurs and non-ankylosaurs. Let's put that under general improvements. So, wider range of social behaviors for animals of different animal families. Calicotherium. That's a very cool Cenozoic animal as well. So, Calicotherium, definitely. A nature expansion with Hapsicopteryx, Silosaurus, Platio, Archelon, a mixed forest map placed in Poland, wooden building theme, solar panels, glass, and wood fencing. Crikey, I'm gonna have to add a note. See, what's surprising me here is that we are all of you are coming up with some really great ideas. And so far, Frontier have given us nothing really unique and brilliant like the options you guys are all coming up with. Like, all we've gotten from them is basically, oh, let's just make what's in the film. And I kind of think so there's a rumor there's going to be another big DLC on August the 9th being revealed. I really hope if it is a big expansion, I hope it's something unique and different. And not... you know, a dinosaur pack or something half-assed. Solar panel building for power. I like the introduction of solar panel buildings. Wood, glass, and wood and glass building style and fence styles. Whoops, the music has stopped. Bear with me. I'm just going to take a short pause to have a drink. P3 Bahamas, a species... Ah, right. These are the animals for the Bahamas. So, a species of giant millipede. So, giant millipede. So, is that, like, similar to Arthroplura? Pattaya... Terrorbirds... Archaeopteryx, concave, and Ardonyx. I didn't realize that the Bahamas had so many fossil animals in it. Frontier should hire us, definitely. Bear with me, I'm a little bit far back on the chat. Don't worry, as Darkaday, I've just added Calicotherium. New non-dinosaurs pack. Okie dokie, non-dinosaur pack. Adding... that one, whose name I cannot pronounce delightfully. Damonsaurus, Caprosuchus, and Coolosuchus. Nature expansion jellyfish feeder. Jellyfish feeders. Rock fencing. I love the idea of rock fencing. Rock and sand paths. You'd also include a bike tour. Bike tour building. Dino interaction building. And feeding points. Jellyfish feeder for the Archelon would definitely work. I agree with that, Ecats. Oh, it's Megaloceros. There we go. I didn't think it was right. Megaloceros. Saros. However you want to pronounce it. Megatherium was the sloth, of course it was. Which reminds me, actually, but I'll ask that question at the end. Of the stream in a sec. I've got a question for everyone about a future video. Don't worry, Caleb, I've got them in there now. Frontier should definitely hire us. Archelon fits better with the Bahamas DLC. Perhaps. Yeah, we could include Archelon in here as a question mark. For the Poland one, maybe Globidens would fit better. Globidens? I just want more non-animal species like Megalania alone. Yeah, I agree we need more non-dinosaur animals, so let's just put that in a general improvement. More non-dinosaur animals. African expansion could include a savanna map. I think the Africa expansion it would just be like a savanna biome, like a new biome for all of the maps to use. Terror birds are very popular. Dwayne fence, the rock fence, exactly. I would swap the terror birds in Bahamas for Archelon in Poland. Makes more sense biome-wise. Okay, so we'll put the terror birds here under question mark, and we'll put the Archelon here under question mark as possible animals. Ambitious, but perhaps the aquatic expansion could include a campaign mission where you must capture creatures in the middle of the ocean. It sounds cool, Potato Man, but like the way that you do creature capturing at the moment is that you literally are just sending scientists off to go and do them. So I don't think it really adds anything. A European expansion. So have maps in the Scottish Highlands, Spain, Norway, Scottish Highlands as an alpine map, Frogstrich. Have you ever been to Scotland? It's not really alpine, and it's not really taiga. It's... I don't know how you would describe it. It's kind of halfway between alpine and temperate. Norway would be taiga. See, I think Norway would be more alpine than that. Classic European style. So I'm guessing a lot of brick buildings. And animals to include Concavenator, Pterodactylus. Interesting pterosaur, that one. Tethys and Cryptoclydus. A deep sea monsters pack. I mean, I don't think there would be anything wrong with them doing a pack of animals that are just focused on aquatics. I'm not sure, though, that Anomalocaris is a good idea. My issue with Anomalocaris is that it's just not very big. I love Anomalocaris as an animal, but I don't think it's big enough for the size of the lagoons that we have at the moment. Pterigotus and Leviathan. Hey Fletcher, animation idea for the Megalania where it's hunting the goats could creep through the grass and undergrowth until it's snuck up behind the goat and then lunge at the goat and eat it. Megalania has gotten very popular. Like it's an animal I hear mentioned quite often from Evo streams and such. Has it recently featured in a documentary or something? A flamboyant pack. Pterodistro Gigantoraptor Northorhynchus Lambiosaura. Something? I think there's an animal I would replace your Pterostrudo with in there, just for flamboyance. I would go with Nyctosaurus instead, which is the pterosaur with that really big, thin crest. I think that's a lot more flamboyant than Pterostrudo is. Scotland is super flat. Scotland is super hilly. The Netherlands is super flat. Holland is I think Holland is below sea level actually. Free update idea: the ability to Google the depth in lagoon. Oh, to toggle the depth in lagoons. Do you mean to toggle the depth of lagoons so that we can have... I mean, I think generally one of the improvements is to allow us to modify the terrain inside the lagoons. Don't worry, Barger. I was like, to Google the lagoons? No, I just like lizards. Lizards are cool. And as someone who enjoys laying in the sun for prolonged periods of time, I can totally understand them. Also, Fletcher, option should Megalania hunt pack. I don't think Komodo dragons hunt pack, do they? So probably not. A primeval pack, remodel. So Dinosaur Mayhem, there's no way they would be allowed to do that. You have to think about who owns the copyrights. If you're going to do a pack based on another franchise, that means you're going to have to go and get another set of copyrights. And there's no way Universal would share their game with another franchise. So as much as we would love to see animals from Primeval in the game, there is no way it would be permitted. We'll have to wait for modders to bring those in, unfortunately. European Expansion Part 2, Acnorognathus, Ophthalmosaurus, Lileniston, and Platio. So we're adding a lot of animals in our expansions, more than I think they would actually give us, to be honest. Acnorognathus, but that's good. It means that I can pick from all of these animals that we come up with. Yeah, the unfortunate realities of franchising and copyright law. I actually am glad that someone has actually said Lilenisternus, because it's one of my sort of... I like Lilenisternus as a kind of a nice little animal, kind of similar to Dilophosaurus. The Odd Ones pack: Pterodastro, Maziochisaurus, Beelzebufo, and Mochops. Yeah, I think that's a curious one. Mochops, Beelzebufo, Maziochisaurus, and Pterodastro. For the Bahamas DLC, we could have foliage on lagoons, like coral reefs and kelp forest brushes. Yep, totally agree with this one. We'll just put it as a new bullet point. Foliage brushes specifically for lagoons. So coral reefs, sand, rocks, kelp, grass, etc. Totally agree with that one. I mean, to be honest, I think that should be in the free update. We need a high path at around sauropod height as an attraction. So new attractions. Sauropod feeding experience. So a tall path that sauropods interact with. In the savanna biome, a new catastrophe could be drought, which causes guest drink requirements to increase and dinosaurs become dehydrated. Interesting. Drought as a disaster. Agnorognathus is about half the size of Yehalopterus, so not even sure on that one. That is true. Agnorognathus is incredibly small. I want Moschops just to fill out the roster of creatures that was in Carnivore, so I can build a park with all the creatures from... Yeah? Should Megalania have venom or not? I mean, I don't see why we couldn't. More bioluminescent skins. I agree. Like, one of the best things I started building a park with bioluminescent animals. Someone on the Triclor Discord did a mod pack which added loads of bioluminescent animals like Brachiosaurus and Suchomimus and Wuhersaurus. And they were really great. And then the game updated and the mods were no longer compatible. And I really missed them. I miss having more bioluminescent animals. I think we should definitely add... So, bioluminescent skin options for more animals. I'm planning a park. I need to choose between Tropiognathus and Sungaripterus. Probably Tropiognathus in that case, something. Although Sungaripterus does have, like, it is an interesting sort of shape and it is a bit weird looking, so I suppose you could also give that the points. Should the Megalania be a medium or small carnivore? I think it should probably be a medium carnivore, so they actually have to make new animations for it. But we got some really good expansion ideas, some really good dinosaur pack ideas. Are there any sort of other general improvements that people think we need to have? Like things that are more generalized, that aren't sort of things you would want in like a free update? Like the sort of free update stuff. Waterfalls. Placeable waterfalls. I'm actually going to say placeable. I'm just going to say placeables and just put waterfalls, bridges, placeable caves, placeable. Oh god, there was another one. Placeable effects. So like fog, fire, smoke, etc. I want to be able to place down like those fogs from the Biosyn map wherever I want to add a little atmosphere to my park. Again, I believe that's another feature that Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo allowed. Correct me if I'm wrong, nerd guy, but I think in Planet Coaster you had like little effect boxes you could place that would make like sprays or fires or sparks or like fog and stuff. Frontier need to complete the Biosyn and Mortar building sets. So yeah, we actually agreed with that one. I think it was up here somewhere. Oh yeah, there it was, the missing Biosyn building. So yeah, we have already agreed with that particular improvement. But I agree, Potato Man, we definitely need to see those building sets finished. Let us put the lagoon lights on land. Or just give us some lighting options for land. Lighting options for land. Like, just give us some, like, lampposts or directional lights that we can use. Hybrid pack. So actually, Frogstrich raises a good point here. None of you have mentioned bringing back the hybrids that we have missing. I think a hybrid expansion is probably a quite popular idea. I'm not going to go too much into depth with it because we know what it would basically do. But I think we need to have those missing hybrids. Hello Caleb, welcome back. The log should be available in all eras for last gen console players. Is the log building not available for everybody? Is it era locked? I didn't know, because I just play in sandbox with all eras on, so. ECATS, I have tried to get into Ark, I just couldn't manage it. Isn't Megalania in the Indominus Rex genome? I'm not sure. I know that Deinosuchus was in there. And I know Rugops was in there. And I think we have all of the other animals that are in in the Indominus Rex genome. I think we have all the other animals now. I don't think Megalania is in there, but it might have been. Well, there's some interesting hybrid ideas being added here. I mean, I also came up with a few of my own hybrids. I did a video some time ago with a friend of mine from the Discord, and I designed, with the help of Neron, a buddy from Evo Square Discord, he drew the hybrids for me. Perhaps I might do another one of those with your ideas. If you don't mind, Frogstritch, I'm just going to save a copy of your suggestions. And what I might do is talk to Neron and see if we can design these for you, get them drawn. So, give you some interpretations of what they might look like. Okay, let's see what update for the mortar pack, or just a new pack that adds more towers and building decorations in the mortar theme. I think that kind of falls under the ruin pack or ruin decoration pack for decorations, Caleb. Fletcher, think of a hybrid that could include Megalania. Megalania and Stegosaurus. I think that could be quite interesting. Thank you, Frogstritch. Don't worry, if we do that as a video, I will make sure to give you full credit. Ecosystem pack. Pterosaurs can free range. Natural lagoons. Dromaeosaurs, Titanoboa, Giraffatitan, Titanosaurus. I think one of the problems with making pterosaurs free roam is that they would have to recode quite a lot of existing animals. So I don't think, again, they would do it. Because you'd need to recode the guest AI, you'd need to recode the actual like escaped animal system, you'd need to recode all the pterosaurs that are already in-game. I mean, I think an interesting idea might be like an invisible fence before an aviary. So, invisible fence aviary. So like, it would work with you. It would still be like a dome or whatever, but it would just be invisible, or have like the invisible fence things around, so it would look more clear than a normal aviary, but obviously give you the appearance that there's nothing actually there. I think that could work, because Dominion introduced the idea of that force field thing, didn't they? So Fletcher, you can use a Stegolania in your video. Thank you, Parker. I quite like that idea, the Stegolania. A Site B mode. So I've seen a lot of people request a Site B mode, but how would your Site B mode work, Burger? I'd like to know how you would do it. Because one of the problems with the game we have at the moment is we don't have baby dinosaurs, so the dinosaurs can't breed. And the carnivores do have a tendency to just kill all of the time. I mean, you can basically do JPOG Site B now. You just have to... Well, I don't think there's any... You can do Site B literally on Sandbox now. It's no different to JPOG's Site B. Yeah, I mean, the only thing Site B gave you is that you had a customizable island on Site B. So, if I remember correctly, you still had to place down feeders in Site B mode. You want to try making mods of the hybrids? That'd be pretty difficult, Burger. There are some. It's a noble cause to have. Just checked, and the log is era exclusive. Wow. Okay, so. Make the viewing log no longer era exclusive. That surprises me, actually. That's quite unfortunate, because it's one of the best new decorations. Well, attractions even. What about other? I mean, looking at new attractions. Have people got some other ideas for specifically new attractions? I mean, we've had like the balloon tour or a bicycle tour. We've had boat tours, but attractions don't necessarily have to be tours. They can be, you know, other types of attraction building. So, yeah, river tour, boat tour, river tour, Barger. I think it's been an underwater viewing dome. I would definitely think that should be free. I don't think that should be in a DLC. A water park. I like that idea. Water park resorts. Underground tunnels. So underground tunnels. A placeable roller coaster. I don't know. Like, what's okay, Barger? You've said it. You've said it now. We want a roller coaster on the island. Why? Why are dinosaurs not enough? I mean, I know you're obviously probably referring to the one that's in the Telltale game. I just don't know if I would want a roller coaster to be added. Remote hotel. What do you mean by remote hotel, Caleb? An underwater reef viewing gallery akin to a log. I love that idea. Reef gallery similar to the log. It's a really good idea. Planet Dino Coaster. Roller coasters near live animals is something I hate that real theme parks and zoos do, so I gotta disagree. It's stressful to the animals. Exactly. Information boards and information givers. I like the idea of more placeable sort of information boards. Information / education boards. I like that idea. A gondola, or even better, an open chair thing that is used to get to mountains for snowboarding in winter. Actually, I love the idea of that being the way that people get into the European expansion maps. Like all of the maps, they have they have like a gondola entry building. Because all of those are like high up in mountain areas. So you have to get there by going into like a gondola, and it like takes you up to the mountain. Takes you up the mountain to where the park is. I really love the idea of that. I think a museum would be good. Also, it would explain what happens to the dinos when they die. Bugger, that is such a dark thing to say. Oh yes, and here we have our newly... our new T-Rex skeleton. We've just skinned it and pulled all the insides out. Don't worry, you'll be eating her when you have the burgers we serve in the in the food shops. I like the idea of a museum. I just think that's a really dark idea that when the dinosaurs die, they're basically turned into the exhibits. A museum attraction. I think I would only want a museum attraction if it was available to be like have the insides modified. Like, I would want it sort of like open air, so you could actually see what's in there. Oh, the decorative log is era exclusive, not the viewing log. Right. Make the log no longer exclusive. Also, add more logs. It's crazy we only have the one. A hotel that you can place without requiring path, like a log or dome that can connect to logs and domes, but also gives off its own viewing area. Oh. Maybe? Not sure on that one. I like the idea of something like a campground building. Maybe we could add that to one of the expansions, like... maybe the Australian one, or the island one? Or maybe the nature one, where we have like a campground sort of structure with tents and stuff that works like the hotel. Maybe it just has like a smaller capacity. I mean, I think that could also serve as an attraction as well. So like camping grounds / tent areas. A train ride, like with what zoos do. So like an alternative to the monorail or something. Yeah. I mean, I kind of think we have that with the tour jeeps. More skeletons as placeable items. Definitely. Careful with the rustling. Sorry, Dane is rustling sweets. Yeah, Potato Man, I've already mentioned the gondola. You don't need to tell me again. A feeding station. What do you mean, Dinosaur Mayhem? Taxidermy dinosaurs would be cool. Maybe. I mean, that kind of comes under statues or placeable skeletons. Let's just go More skeletons slash statues. Bumper cars based on Pachycephalosaurus. So now, based on the price of the past JWE2 expansions, how much would all of these DLCs cost? Well, obviously, we wouldn't do them all, because there's probably only development time left for maybe 2. But they'd all be priced the same as what the current pricing is. Oh, for people to give food to the dinosaurs. So yeah, so like feeding experiences. Walkways for aviaries and exhibits like the ones in JP3 Aviary that can be placed like a path. Yeah, so allow paths through aviaries. Hey, dreaming is free. Let's say they're all added. If only. But I mean, I do think we have come up with some really good ideas for improving the game. And I still might do a video on the expansions. I'm going to just turn off the music just so I can talk to folks about what I wanted you guys' opinion on. So, a few months ago, I went to the National History Museum in London, took a lot of pictures, took some video footage, and I wanted to know whether folks would want me to do a video on all the things that are basically at the Natural History Museum, like all of the dinosaur and prehistoric related stuff. Barger and Frostrick says yes. Yeah, sure, why not, says eCats. Yeah, museum video would be great. Okay, and would people want to just see, like, the dinosaur stuff? Or would they want to see, like, the other area? Because obviously the museum is quite big. There's a lot more in there than just the dinosaur stuff. So would people want to just have the dinosaur stuff or the whole thing? All of it? The other areas as well. Prehistoric creatures in general, I say. Well, if I focus it mostly on the prehistoric stuff, and I don't want to see what Brit stole from Egypt. Nice. If I focus it mostly on the prehistoric stuff, because that's what we're all here for anyway, and I might just add a couple of images from other things that are interesting from inside. But okay, I'll make sure to add that to the list of videos to make. There will be another stream tomorrow because it is Dane's birthday tomorrow. So tomorrow, me, Dane, and another buddy of ours, Fallout, we will all be on stream because we're going to play a game together for everybody. So do please come and say happy birthday to Dane because it embarrasses him. So come tomorrow to the stream, embarrass Dane, watch us play games. It's we're gonna play For the King, which is like a D&D style roleplay sort of thing, which is quite slow paced. So it will be easier to chat to audience as well. And then there won't be a stream on Sunday because we're giving you 2 streams today and tomorrow. But I am going to try and get a video out for Sunday instead, which is going to be my ranking of the Jurassic World 2 maps. I'm going to rank them for what is the best and what is the worst. And I've already done my scoring, and the best maps, I think there might be 1 or 2 that might surprise some folks. So that will hopefully be out on Sunday. And then the next week we'll go back to normal, stream on Sundays, stream on a Wednesday, War Thunder on a Wednesday, and a video on making better enclosures. So that's the next week or so. I want to thank everyone for turning up. This has been a very active, very liked, very watched stream. So thank you everyone for tuning in for what is a different sort of thing. I want to thank everyone for the ideas they've introduced, and I still might do a video on the expansions and those hybrids from Frogstretch. And obviously if you haven't subscribed yet or liked yet, please do, because it really does help the channel out. We're getting closer and closer to 2,000 subs. And don't forget, we do have a Discord. The link should be down in the description. The Discord is a work in progress, but sometimes I'm streaming there with a few buddies when we play various games, including the Isle. So do join that if you haven't already. But apart from that, I want to wish you all a good night. Have a good rest of the day wherever you are. Stay safe and good night.